Welcome in to quarantine edition number 6. Here we are again on the Weekly Warrior Preview. And, you know, Donette, we keep muddling through and hoping things will get back to normal soon, but we're glad and we got a great show as well.
We are, Jerry. I can't believe you remember it's number 6. I've lost count on where we are, what day it is. But we have a full house coming up. We've got Dr. Hester, and we decided to surprise him a little bit and have a few of the track seniors join us in some interview with him. We're going to have that for you and much more, but first, a quick break.
In these changing times, we want all of our local businesses to know how much they mean to our communities. Most, if not all, are still open and conducting business in some way or another. So please contact each business directly to find out how we can continue to support them. We also want all of our student athletes to know how proud we are of you, and we're looking forward to seeing you back in action soon. Thanks for watching the Weekly Warrior Preview right here on Alabaster Living.
Welcome back in, everyone, to the Weekly Warrior Preview. You know, this show is going to be a little different. We got a lot of guests on at one time, and Donette, where do we go from here?
It is a full house, even though we cannot be in studio because we're following the social distancing guidelines. We wanted to continue having our seniors from Thompson Springs Sports, but also Dr. Hester, we couldn't let him miss out on not seeing these amazing athletes. With us today, Zakira Holyfield, Hannah Casey, Tyra Irvin, Avery Zhao, all track athletes and seniors with bright futures, and of course, Dr. Hester. Thank you guys. It's going to be a little weird, we know, so we'll kind of ask you guys one at a time to ask for questions or maybe a little pause, and that's okay. Dr. Hester will make you wait just a minute. And we're going to start with Zakira. You have been just amazing at Thompson. You've been running since 8th grade, and you've already committed to University of North Alabama in Huntsville. But I want to talk to you a little bit about that season being cut short for your senior year. What was the emotion amongst your team when you found that out?
It was crazy, honestly, because I feel like this year was our year, and we worked so hard during the summer. We all had new goals set, and so it was just kind of devastating finding out. But still now, we're still training and continuing on in college.
So, Kara, I want to ask you about your coach and let you take a minute to speak to Coach Schmidt and your other team members about what it was like to have the season cut short and whatever you want to say to them. First,
I would like to thank them because all 4 years that I was there, you know, they were always there for me. Even when I wanted to stay late, Coach Schmidt always stayed. I always took his lessons in, even when I didn't want to do the hard workouts. You know, he still stood by my side. And all the coaches there, like, they're just wonderful. And my teammates, they always pushed me. Running with the boys was crazy, but it just brought me closer to my college dream of running in college. So I want to thank everybody that pushed me and my parents as well. Everybody that pushed me and always was there for me, always watched the meets and stuff. It was just great.
Avery, she mentioned one of the guys. I want to go to you now. Avery Zhao, you're committed to the University of Montevallo, and athletics runs in your family. We know that, and track has been your sport of choice. But I have to ask you something lighthearted. Coach Schmidt with that beard. I got to know what you guys thought when he started growing this beard out.
I can't even explain what goes through his head sometimes. You know, it's just this thing. He always grows it out. It's always funny to see. He'll dye it. He'll do some crazy stuff with it. There's no telling with him.
I know one year, about last year, he shaved it off, and I ran into him somewhere, and it's like I didn't even recognize him, and then he grew it back. Talk about Montevallo. I know they've got a great track program at the University of Montevallo. It's a matter of fact, over the last 4 or 5 years, they have really made an attempt to have a great track program. I know they're happy to have you. Is that why you chose them?
Yes, I saw a lot of potential at Montevallo. I just knew that I could grow, and not only grow myself, but help grow the program and really broaden Montevallo's range, especially in the sprints, and contribute the most I can.
Hannah Casey, I want to go to you now. And Hannah, you know, this was the end of your track career as far as being a competitor, because you want to focus on that next chapter of your life, focus on becoming a school teacher.
Mhm.
Why is teaching something you feel passionate about? Why do you want to do that?
Well, I'm actually a swim instructor at the Alabaster YMCA, so I teach little kids from 6 months all the way up. I've even taught a couple of 30-year-old dads that their daughters took swim lessons. And I just feel like I have a calling to help change children's lives. And so that's why I'm going to go into either collaborative elementary education or just elementary education.
Where are you going to school?
Troy University.
And why did you choose Troy? I mean, was that where you wanted to go, and obviously you applied and got accepted?
It was actually not even on my radar until I went and visited the school. I was planning on going to the University of Montevallo, and then I had a couple of friends who were already accepted, and they convinced me to go tour. And as soon as I drove onto the campus, I fell in love, and I knew that was where I was supposed to be.
Tyra Urban, I want to go on to you now. And I usually send all of you guys a little questionnaire beforehand to kind of get to know you, asking how long you've run your sport, what your next step is. And I see all the answers normally since middle school and going to college. Your response caught me off guard. You're joining the Army.
Yes,
and that's amazing. And I'm so kudos to you, and I'm so impressed. Why did you decide to do that next?
Well, at first I did want to go to college and run track, but then after a while I decided I love track. It was great experience and all, but I was thinking, I think I want this to be my last year. And then I decided that I want to go into Army, and I'm going to be a corrections officer to help people, and I want to help them get a better life for themselves so they don't end back up in that situation.
So where do you go from here? I mean, physically, where do you go for boot camp or whatever?
Yes, sir. June 23rd is when I leave to go to Missouri for basic training.
And I'm assuming that that's going to be tough. I mean, boot camp is historically tough, but it takes a special kind of mentally prepared and physically prepared person to be in the armed forces.
Yes, sir. And I think that track has definitely helped me with that some as well, physically and mentally wise, because the coaches, like Kira has said, they've always been there for us and pushed us. And like I said, physically and mentally have been there for us. So I feel like that's something strong that they've put on me that I can still remember while I'm there.
Dr. Hester, I had you kind of sit tight for a minute, mainly because I wanted you to hear what your athletes had to say. We've said it so many times. You guys have so much to be proud of, that these are the representatives you have. And I said before we got started that they were just so polite and so prompt on getting back to us with questions. I was really impressed, like I have been with all Thompson athletes. I know you haven't seen them, so I'm sure you have things you want to say to them and just how proud you are of them.
Oh my goodness! Where do I begin? But you guys have literally made my day, connecting with them today, live and in person. Not in person, but at least live. I get to see their faces. I get to hear them. You couldn't have picked a better lineup. Really, this group, they are amazing in their own rights and in their own ways, but collectively together, what a representation for Thompson High School. And they're going to go on and be at the top, at the highest level of success in where they're going in their colleges, in the armed forces, in the Army. It's amazing what they've accomplished and what they've done. And again, I know I've said this before, but it is certainly, I know, disheartening for them that they finished the year that we're finishing it, but that's not going to hold them back at all in terms of what their future is and what they're going to be able to do in the future. So I am proud of them. I'm excited for them. They're going to take what we've been blessed with at Thompson High School for the past 4 years. They're going to take that, and they're going to go and they're going to be able to spread that and share that across the state and really across our world. And I couldn't be happier for them. But selfishly, you've made my day being able to be with them at the same time and connect with them. So it's good to see them and good to hear from them and to hear their voices. Our 2020 group is very special, and they've accomplished so much. And it's almost like, they've already created such a statement and done so much already that they already have made their impact, but they haven't had the chance to really look back on it and celebrate it. And we want to do that however we can, and we've got to be balanced in what we do in terms of safety and the regulations that are currently in place. But I want them to know, and I want everyone to know that's watching this, that we haven't given up on anything that we want to do for them, however we do that, and whatever platforms that we do. We're going to honor and recognize this special group of young people in our class of 2020, because there's not a better group. Everybody else is talking about their class of 2020 and how special. Ours is the absolute best. And their actions and the things that they've accomplished, it speaks for itself. But we're not going to just allow that to just ride off into the sunset. We're going to do some special things for them to recognize them and honor them. And I want them to know that and be rest assured. You see a lot of different things that are going out right now in the media about how, schools are doing this and doing that for their seniors. But we have some plans in place too. And we're going to communicate that soon and roll that out, and I hope that they're very happy and pleased with what we're going to do for them, and continue to do that, because this is a very special class. So I miss them, I love them, but I'm so very proud of them, and they're going to be ready for the world and to conquer the world as we move forward. So just wanted to reiterate that we're still working hard to honor them and to recognize them for all that they've done.
The impact our coaches have on them is amazing, even though we all may wonder, why do you grow your beard? But they all love him and make an impact on him. You guys have been really blessed with the coaches you guys have, and I can see that they're all nodding their heads now. They all think that. What goes into finding a coach for Thompson High School?
Well, it starts with the one thing that I think that makes our kids' faces light up, and that is finding people who truly care about kids. They love them, and they're going to find that you're looking for people that have the perfect balance of building relationships and caring about their kids and caring about their students and their student athletes. But at the same time, you want to find those that are the hardest working, relentless people that have high expectations, and they're not going to be satisfied with the status quo. And I would say that, yes, they love Coach Smith. They love our coaches. But at the same time, I bet that they would also say that they're not going to be relaxed around them either. That they're always pushing them, and they're always making them better and finding ways to just get just that one more inch, that one more mile, that one more whatever. Our coaches are relentless in that, but they also really care and love about our kids. So it's a good balance and a good combination, and I think that's what makes our coaches very special, because that's what we look for. We don't look for just those that run a great program and that push our kids hard to be successful, but we also look for those that are going to love them and care for them and take care of them off the field and off the track and outside of the realm of sports itself. And you see that right now more than ever. And I've spoken about that before. Our coaches are doing an amazing job of staying connected with our kids, making sure they're okay, making sure they're taking care of things academically. But that's no different than any other time, because that's what they do all the time. And so that combination of things is what makes our coaches very special.
I know, Jerry, I'm going to wrap this up. We want to make our way around one more time to our athletes. Avery, I'm going to start with you, and then I'll let Jerry go next. But Avery, when he talked about Coach Smith pushing you guys that extra mile and getting a little extra, your face lit up. You had a big grin. Tell me a little bit more about that.
Schmidt just be working us really hard all the time. It's just like Dr. Hester said, that he's always looking for that extra push. That goes for all of the coaches as well. They're always looking for that extra push in us, even though we don't think we have it in us. They bring it out of us.
We'll go to Zakira now. Zakira, you were lighting up a little bit as well when he talked about how they're connected to you guys and staying close. And I know you've played a big role in our schools, also outside of track and with our young athletes and doing other things. Does that make it? Do the coaches make an impact on you? Make you decide to do that? Like, why are you involved with other grade levels?
Yes, coaches most definitely impact that. I actually want to become a coach when I'm older, and just seeing like Coach Schmidt and Coach Dye, how much they put into it and how they're always trying to find ways for us to do something different and have nice things and just all of that. It just makes a difference in our lives, and it just helps us to know what we want to do when we get older. Like, I want to be a coach, and I want to make an impact just like they made in mine.
Hannah, when she mentioned the things about them trying to make you guys better and do more and kind of go the extra mile, I can see you nodding and smiling as well, agreeing with that. Give me an example of Coach Smith and Coach Lee and them trying to get you to go the extra mile and get just a little bit more out of you.
Well, one thing that comes to my mind is definitely my sophomore cross-country season. Coming off of freshman year, I was not confident in my running. I didn't really believe in myself. I didn't have a lot of self-confidence on the course and on the track. And sophomore year, he told me to buy in, and so I bought in, and I dropped 6 minutes off of my 5K. I dropped over 2 minutes off of my mile time, and he was just like, you had it in you. He encouraged me on the track. He pushed me harder than I've ever been pushed in a workout. He made me run with the boys, and I was like, you're crazy for making me do this because I am not that good. And, you know, it all paid off. I ended up having an 8-minute PR in all of my 5Ks this year and then from freshman year. And then I ended up with almost a sub 6 miles. So you just buy in, and he encouraged me to just buy in, focus on myself, improve myself, and become the best athlete that he knew I could be.
Tyra, I noticed, I watched you as everybody's talking, you know, you're smiling and lighting up and getting on. I can tell there's the connection and the bond. So I want to kind of wrap up with you on our track athletes, just talking about the bond you guys have and how it's going to go beyond this year at Thompson.
I think that we have an excellent bond. We are all very close, not just us seniors, but us with the lower classmen as well. We all talk to each other. We all goof around. We're always there for each other. Whether it's to track, to school, personal life stuff, we'll always be there for each other. And I think that even after this, even though us seniors are leaving, we're still gonna text, talk, call our lower classmen each other, still be there for each other. We still have stuff that we kept between each other. It's just we're still gonna keep that going, and I hope it stays like that for a while.
I want to say thanks to all of y'all. Y'all are fantastic. It's so exciting to have you on the show. Thanks again, and good luck to all 4 of you wherever you head. Okay. Thank you. Donette, I know that you want to ask Dr. Hester about someone who made a great score on the ACT. Is that correct?
I do. And so now we've kind of wrapped up with our track athletes. We'll say goodbye to them. But Dr. Hester, I'm going to get you to stick around.
Oh, you know, Emmeline Morris, she's on our dance line too, part of the Marching Southern Sounds, does a phenomenal job, very talented dancer, a part of a state championship, national award winning group of dancers that we have in a program that we have at Thompson. But it goes beyond that with her. I mean, academically, she's at the very top. She's one of the very best model students, just a scholar. I mean, this is a student that is so hardworking and so relentless, but at the same time, she's very humble, and she's very she pays attention to the little things, and you see that in the classes that she has. She works hard. She's very talented, and a lot of kids who are very talented and they're very intelligent, sometimes they tend to just take that for granted, and she doesn't. She pushes hard and she works hard, and so she was set. She had her 30+ series of 30+ scores on the ACT, but that wasn't enough for her. She continued to work and really hone in on the test and focus in on the things that she needed to do to achieve that perfect score. And she was able to do that. And I was able to see the letter She shared the letter with us in terms of what that from the ACT, and you're talking about like 1/2 of 1% of the individuals that take the test. It's probably even less than that as far as the elite group that she's in that actually score a 36 on the ACT. So she is in a very small elite group of people, but she worked very hard to get there, and she's just a phenomenal individual, a great leader, great person, and it could not have happened to a better individual, and she's really a perfect model for what we're looking for in terms of students and what they can do, and she definitely has worked hard to accomplish this goal. We're very proud of her, and just can't say enough great things about her.
Dr. Hester, thank you so much for joining us. We got more questions, but I tell you what, we're going to have you back in the next week or two because I know you want to tell us about what's going to happen with the seniors that we've kind of kept under wrap. I'm glad you did that. I know you're going to be anxious to explain that to us. So thanks so much for joining us, and we'll see you in a week or two, okay?
Okay, Jerry. Thank you. Thank you, Donette. Appreciate it.
In these changing times, we want all of our local businesses to know how much they mean to our communities. Most, if not all, are still open and conducting business in some way or another. So please contact each business directly to find out how we can continue to support them. We also want all of our student athletes to know how proud we are of you, and we're looking forward to seeing you back in action soon. Thanks for watching the Weekly Warrior Preview right here on Alabaster Living.
Well, what a great show it's been. We thank you so much for watching. Listen, before we end the show, I know it's been late, pretty much covered up with senior athletes, but I want to tell you about a sophomore. Ella Pate is a sophomore. She plays softball for Thompson. She made the all-county team, so just congratulations to her. Well, Donette, we talked about a great show. We've had a lot of great people on here today, and we thank everyone for watching. What a great show we've had.
It has been, Jerry. You know, we've got a few more seniors from the track team. We're going to try to get them all next week, and we're waiting to hear back from our last two tennis seniors as we kind of wrap up showcasing our spring sport athlete seniors to give them just a little bit of exposure. We want to thank you guys once again for joining us each and every week on Thursdays here on Alabaster Living at 7:30, and we'll see you next week.